Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Thoughts from the Roundtable Chats. Today we have two great topics, and you might be thinking, hey, idiots, you just released a chat last week. Why do you have another one coming out? Well, mostly because we want to. We're from this point on, we're going to do one just about every week.
Yeah, this is kind of like, you know, that thing that takes zero effort. You know, it's like, oh, you want two pieces of content a week? Well, you get one that's really well structured. Well, I shouldn't say that. One that
has a plot.
That has a slight plot, and then one where we just kind of chew the fat.
Yeah.
And here's you're gonna get that because a lot of people seem to like us chewing the fat. Those videos do pretty good.
They really do for how stupid we are.
Yeah, I do want to say thank you guys. For all the support and love that we've got on our reading fanfiction video. Like, it's like the views are not like huge, and so you might be looking and you're like, wow, why would you say thank you for that? But the view to like ratio is fantastic. The comments I've got from both people in private and people that are actually on the channel, like commenting, it really does mean a lot to hear that, because I put a ton of time into that. So thank you guys so much. Hey guys, editor's note. We actually forgot to talk about a pretty important part of this podcast when we filmed it. For this, we wanted to make it a little bit more of a fan interaction thing. So if you guys leave your questions in the comments down below, if you're on YouTube, if you're not on YouTube, tweet at us at roundtable_pod on Twitter, or Instagram comment, or DM us, or whatever you want to do. All our stuff is linked in our LinkedIn, or what is that called? Linktree. It's on our Linktree. So you can find it all there. So leave us your questions, and we will answer them in future episodes of Roundtable Chats.
Yeah, and really and truthfully, we really do just like talking.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason we're doing this. We have two topics today that you can tell by the title. I think, if we do the title.
Yeah, I hope you can tell by the title.
Yeah, so without further ado, please join us at the round table.
Let's talk about Quibi.
For those of you who don't know, Quibi is a streaming service that you mostly hold like you hold a normal phone. You know, most when you watch a television show on Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus, it turns sideways. Quibi, you hold the other way.
Well, you can do both. It's
both
ways.
It was originally supposed to just be this.
Really? Who would watch like that?
Well, it's supposed to. The whole meme was you can watch it in 10 minutes and you can watch it on the go.
Yeah, but like,
is it like worth building a platform of holding this? Like, what's this?
Portrait, not landscape.
Yeah, over landscape. Like,
I don't know. I didn't really see. So I've seen the commercials, and I'm sure all of you have seen the commercials if you spend any time on the internet. But what surprises me about Quibi is how many big name actors they have.
It is truly shocking.
Where did they get the money?
Backers.
Really?
Yeah, they like. I heard it on a podcast the other day. Like, they got millions and millions of backers.
There must be a lot of people. Like, I mean, we've established this like long before on the podcast that we are by far the minority of like how we view things, like movie wise. I bet there is probably a big market for people who want to hold their phone upright and watch 10 minutes of content.
Yeah, so this is an article from Variety, March 4th, 2020. Quibi has raised $1.75 billion.
Good Lord.
Yeah, so in 2018, the startup called New TV announced that it had raised $1 billion in funding. Among the initial investors were a who's who of Hollywood studios: Disney, NBC Universal, Sony Pictures Entertainment, Viacom, AT&T's Warner Media, Lionsgate, MGM, ITV, and Entertainment One, now part of Hasbro. Huh. So, like, you had a lot of people throwing a lot of money at this because they thought, oh, we're revolutionizing.
And I don't think it's going to do it.
No, I just don't see the draw of really watching something upright on your phone that is long.
Well, I mean, it's not long. That's the thing.
10
10-minute max. Like, that's what they say, 10-minute episodes. 10-minute max. I watched a video talking about, like, a review of Quibi, and most of the content is, like, 4 minutes.
I'm very curious because the commercials are like, they look really well done.
Yeah. Well, that's what they said. Like, surprisingly well acted, most of these. But they're just, like, short, tiny little snippets. It's like the Vine of Netflix.
I really don't have any attachment to this idea whatsoever because, like, I would rather just see you put 20 more minutes onto it and call it an episode.
Like,
how crazy am I for that?
Can you not just hit pause?
That's the thing. Like, this whole... Okay. If you did it on a TV, I guess, and you just made a channel and the whole thing was 4-minute episodes. I don't like that idea, but I at least get, like, it's fulfilling a purpose.
Yeah.
You know, and that purpose is like, oh, I can't pause it. So I can sit for 4 minutes. But right, for this, like, I can watch 15 minutes of a Netflix show, pause it, pick it up tomorrow.
You gotta say, right, this is the most Gen Z thing ever created, ever.
Quite possibly.
Like, people are like, oh man, YouTube's too long. Let's go to TikTok where I can just scroll through. It's like, oh man, TV's too long. So let me just watch these 4-minute episodes so I can still say that I have more class than TikTok, but...
Or, you know what, how about this? I'm too lazy to turn my phone to watch part of an episode. So I'm just going to keep it upright.
I don't know. It feels like they're trying to kill, like, long-form media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're like, you know, Game of Thrones, hour episodes, kind of crap.
I think they're looking at the way that, like, short version journalism killed long form, and, like, the short story / TV show has killed the book.
Yeah.
You know? And I think they're like, oh, let's hop in. People care less about spending, or people want to spend less time being entertained and getting information. But, like, what are they gaining by having shorter episodes? Like, okay, so, like, for those of you who don't know, I'm a journalism major, right? So we talk about long form journalism and short journalism all the time. It feels like it's all we talk about, right? And, like, the long form journalism's kind of dead. It really is. Like, big magazine articles, no one reads those anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I guess from a time standpoint, I get it, right? But with long form TV, there's really no due date per se, right? Like, with journalism, there is a certain time when an article is important, and then it's dead.
Yeah.
With TV, it may go out of style. Like, for example, we just talked about our upcoming podcast is on Indiana Jones, and we talk, has it aged well, right? That's been 40 years, you know, and it's still entertaining. So, like, this is because other things are too long and people don't have enough time. Like, what are you doing then?
Yeah. I kind of get it for journalism because it's like, oh, I don't want to read all this for, like, I don't want to spend all this time, like, getting this in depth into a story. But
when
like,
I could just look on Twitter.
Yeah.
I get that.
But, like, TV's different because the whole point of watching TV is to get into a story.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, journalism, you're reading the news, you're reading current events, you're reading snippets, and, like, I can see why maybe you don't care enough to read a whole thing. But, like, a TV show, that's the point. You have to care, right?
Yeah. You just explained my point better than I thought about ever explaining it. So, yeah, that was what I'm trying to get across because, like, I think that's, like, the goal they're going for, though, right? Like,
it is.
Long form is dead. What?
No, it's not. Dude, it's very alive. I will say, TV shows have been getting shorter and shorter and shorter. I guess maybe it is dying. I told Jacob about this earlier today, but I'm going to reiterate it for the podcast. But I watched Solar Opposites, which is like Rick and Morty without the toxic fan base. I enjoyed it. But I started watching it on Saturday at 9 a.m. and I finished the entire season before noon. I guess that's kind of Quibi market. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, do you not want to have something that lasts you? Do you just want like a short snippet of caring about a story and then go on with your day? Because I guess there's an audience for that.
I guess it's that certain sort of people who don't like TV shows because it's too much of the same thing. Like all together, it's like they get burnt out on the story, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But like don't like movies because an hour and 30 minutes is too long. Right? That's their niche audience.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like Quibi. I will never get it. Probably. Unless... I shouldn't say that.
I think for me, like, the only reason I'd get it is curiosity.
Yeah. Or, like, if they came out with, like, they bought a brand that I care about, and I'm like, oh, well, now I got to.
Sure.
But I don't see myself in the foreseeable future because I'm such a long... I'm such a long media person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or, like, I hate when shows are short. I loved Game of Thrones because a whole season would take me, like, at max binge, like 3 days.
Talk about masters of long form, HBO.
Yeah. True. HBO is really the key player in, like, long form TV.
Yeah. HBO is the antithesis to Quibi.
That's a really good statement.
Yeah.
But moving on from Quibi, because I don't want to spend the whole time dwelling on the negative. We were talking earlier today about a certain thing, a certain primal desire any man has. That's the need for a basement.
Yeah, so for those of you, again, who don't know me, probably everyone does know me if you're watching this, though. But if you don't, I like to look at houses when I'm bored. I don't know why. I like real estate, but I do like to look at houses. And I was talking to my mom the other day, and I've decided that a basement is now a must-have in my house. Because I need, one, some room alone to myself, and two, I want to have a room where I can't be bossed around by my wife of what it looks like. If I want to put a lightsaber up there, I'm going to. Okay? You know, just the thought of me building my man cave is part of the reason that I'm going today.
Yeah.
You know?
No doubt.
Like, decking one out, Pierce and I spend 10 minutes at least when we see each other talking about how we're going to build our man cave, which is essentially, like, for our apartment next year, which is essentially our podcast corner.
Yeah.
We spend so much time talking about it.
Yeah. Honestly, I spend way too much time thinking about it. Like, so for those of you who don't know, me and Jacob lived together. We were dorm mates. We did our podcast. So the history of the Roundtable podcast thus far, we started in, like, this little kind of closet in the IUPUI journalism department with crappy mics and no cameras.
Yeah.
And you can see some of those videos. We don't delete anything.
No.
They're all up.
They're cringe.
Yeah.
They're probably cringy. Just to see how much we've grown in, what, like 3.5 months?
It's kind of incredible.
Shocking.
How, like, I can't even imagine talking and, like feeling good about putting up. Like, I felt good about putting up our first podcast.
I was so proud of it. And then I was like, dog, this kind of sucks.
And I'm sure we're going to look back at, like, these and be like, ew, wow, these are kind of bad. But they're definitely better.
Yeah. And then, so the next part in our history, after doing what, probably 3 weeks of that, no video, we decided, hey, let's try video.
Mm-hmm.
We did. And we liked it. It was good. And then we said, you know what? Our mics suck.
Yeah.
Let's buy a mic. So we bought a Blue Yeti that you see. You may not be able to see it depending on the camera angle. But we have it here today. And then you could say we came out of the closet.
Mm-hmm.
And so we started doing it in our dorm.
Yeah.
And we had to plan out when we could do it because we had a roommate who was annoying.
Yeah. And he didn't want at all to be in our podcast.
No, he was like, bro, I'd never be in that with you.
Bro, do not film that when I'm in the dorm.
Yeah.
Do not.
Yeah.
So we kind of were we were doing a little bit better content when we were in our dorm. Because I feel like there was there was like a stigma kind of about being in the IUPUI journalism department, like room where we had to be a little bit serious.
And that people could hear us.
Yeah. And so you can't be yourself really. And so we started being a little bit more ourselves in that dorm. And then, of course, because of coronavirus, we were sent home. And we've been doing it in my basement, in Jacob's basement, and over the internet. But really, the point of this story is that we are getting ready to, in a couple months, move into our apartment for the next semester that they can't kick us out of because we will rent. And so we've been thinking about how we're going to decorate our little podcast corner, which is like our little like baby man caves.
Yeah, this is our pre-man cave.
Yeah, it's like the fetus, you know?
Before we become a man, we must first be created.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we're going to workshop all of our man cave ideas.
One could even call this the boys' cave.
I like that name.
You know, because one, we'd be in the same one, so boys plural.
Yeah.
Not man.
The men's cave sounds dumb.
Yeah. And then when we grow out of the boys' cave, we enter man cave.
Yeah. And we will share each other's man cave. I'm sure.
Well, that's the code. That's the code.
The boys got to come over to the man cave to watch some Star Wars.
Exactly, dude. So, I was talking to Jacob earlier, and we were kind of describing to ourselves... words. We were kind of describing to each other, like, peak man cave design. And I was like, man, I kind of hope that, like, I get my house before I, like, find... You know, obviously the goal for most people, I would say, is, like, marriage and a family. And I think that goal holds true for the most part for me. But the goal that precedes it is house with man cave. Because I have a specific design in mind. I want you to picture this. I want you to picture a basement, right? Basement's tricked out. We got display cases with lightsabers. I want to collect hilts of lightsabers that they sell at Disney now.
Mm-hmm.
And like a bunch of other like kind of prop memorabilias, a little bit, maybe like some my computers, my TV, my gaming system, my couches, you know. But really the point of this is the entrance, which I want to put a bookshelf secret door in front of the basement. I just, you know, I feel like if I found a woman and we got married before I got a house with this, it's going to be really hard to convince her to go with the secret door.
Yes, it will.
You know?
I can assure you it will.
She's going to be like, Pierce, no, that's like $700. For what purpose? It makes it harder to get to your basement. Why would you even do that? I'd be like, it's the principle of it, you know? But yeah, that's kind of my thing. I want to do it before because, like I said earlier, I feel like, you know, if I have it, women will be all over me.
Yeah, it's not about the money; it's about the message.
It really is. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah. So you said a little bit about you want to collect lightsaber hilts. I've decided to go a little bit against the grain on, because I thought, oh, lightsabers would be really cool, and I still want to have a few.
Mm-hmm.
I would like Ahsoka's lightsabers.
Mm-hmm.
They're very cool.
Which ones?
The white ones.
Ones.
I know it's from Rebels, and I don't really like Rebels. But white lightsabers are dope as hell.
True.
And so to have those, that would be awesome. But I think I'm gonna do helmets.
That's pimp.
And set them up on like mannequin heads.
Ah, that's awesome.
And then have like glass around them.
Yeah.
And like have like plaques of what they are.
Like a little museum.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
and then just have
pimp.
them like laid out. I don't know. I just think like I was just brainstorming that the other day.
Uh-huh.
Like that would be kind of cool.
And honestly, they're not even that expensive.
No, because okay, so here's what really started the idea. I was watching a video of the Guinness World Records book of the most Star Wars memorabilia. It's like 25-minute YouTube video.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it was like 2 a.m, and I was watching it. But like, okay, if you're watching on the camera, so he has like rows and rows and rows of helmets, right? And I think I don't know. I think having like a few helmets, like I want a Mandalorian helmet,
mm-hmm.
Boba Fett helmet, a clone troop, like stormtrooper / clone trooper helmet from each phase. Like that's pretty. Those four,
dope,
those 6 would be awesome.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, The one that would be the one I want the least is the prequel or the sequel.
Oh, like the First Order Trooper? Yeah, I don't know.
It's sharp looking.
It's dope.
I just don't care about it that much.
Yeah, there's no real like emotional connection. I think it looks way cooler than Imperials.
Oh yeah, but like the first 2 Clone Trooper helmets.
Ooh, yeah, those are a must. Phase 2.
Oh, they look so good,
dude. That's peak. That's peak. But I did have a story I wanted to share with you because I don't think I've shared it with anyone, and so I thought maybe on the pod will be the best place to do it. So we were talking man caves. So let me set the scene. Last year I went on spring break with a couple friends, with 2 females and our friend Ethan. You know Ethan from, you probably don't know Ethan. We've told so many stories, but if you want to get a glimpse of him, he's in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid video. In the very last scene, his foot appears from behind the couch. So if you want to catch a pic of those toes, they're over there. But we were in a little place in Florida. We rented a house, and one night we were watching Scooby-Doo 2, the live action movie, and I was talking about how, like, I forget what there was in there, but I was like, man, I really want a secret door. And my friend was like, Pierce, you can't be serious. And so I gave her the old spiel about like my plans for the man cave basement. And I was like, honestly, the whole reason there's a secret door is so my future wife could not get me down there. Lock that thing in. She doesn't know which book to pull. Like, that's a secret closely kept. And she was like, that's horrible. And I was like, oh, I've struck a nerve. Because like that was a serious, that's horrible. And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, that's your wife, isn't that your, like, the whole point, to keep secrets? And so I told her that I was just joking, and that I would definitely let my wife down there. Little secret for you. No. Not joking. No way she'll know.
If you pay the money, your money, since you said you want to get this before you're married.
Yeah.
If you pay the money, she doesn't even know it has to exist.
That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe one day,
you're like,
she doesn't even know we have a basement. One day she's just like dusting. That's probably sexist. Wow. just thinking back. Wow, this has really been the Cancel Pierce podcast couple episodes.
Yeah.
Just wait till the next one.
We really cancel Pierce.
But like maybe she's just like looking at some books and she accidentally pulls it. It slides open.
You have to make it something that no one would ever read.
Yeah, like the Quran.
God. This is really the cancel.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize. I didn't even realize what I said. I was just thinking, well, she's not Muslim. She wouldn't read that.
Let's see. What's like the worst book ever?
Fahrenheit 451.
I like that book.
Really?
So.
You liked it? It was fine.
What about P is for pterodactyl?
P is. So, okay. Wow. Yeah, this is going to get racist. Did you ever... That's not a great way to start a sentence. Did you ever, when you were a kid, read Little Black Sambo?
No.
Okay, this book is horrid. I found this the other day when we were looking through like my cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
I used to read this every time I was gonna eat pancakes, and like little Pierce didn't know this was racist.
Yeah.
But it was about like this little black kid who was stuck on an island, and he like milked the trees for syrup, but like the pictures are horrible. I was like, man, this is old.
Yikes.
Yeah.
This really is. You might seriously be canceled after.
Dude,
good thing no one's listening.
No. So, I don't think I'm going to be canceled because I said it was racist, right? Like,
That's
I'm
not
not
how that
condoning
works. That's
it.
not how
I'm
that
not
works.
condoning the racism.
You're just stating a fact.
I'm stating a fact. I'm saying this was read to me when I was a child, and it was extremely
So we're canceling
racist.
your parents.
Perhaps.
Okay.
Sorry, Mom.
So thank you guys for listening. We have a couple, by couple I mean one announcement to tell you. we are releasing shirts. Now, these shirts are very select, and only a few cool guys and gals are gonna get them. That being said, we'll have some extras. So if you are interested, we are soon to get the shipment. We're gonna set out the shipment soon. That didn't make English.
It's okay. They get the idea.
Yeah. We're gonna make a little video, so keep your eyes peeled if you're interested in a shirt.
Yeah. Soon there will be an opportunity for you to grab first edition Roundtable merch. We know before you comment it, we know we're tiny. These shirts are mostly for us.
We really just want to advertise ourselves.
Yeah, honestly, I just want to wear a shirt with my name on it.
Yeah.
It's not like not my name on it, but like
look at this brand I built.
Yeah. So it's really just for us, but we get a discount if we order more than 2. So we ordered more than 2, baby, and now we're gonna see if you guys want them.
Yeah. So check out, before you leave, before you exit out, check out our Twitter, Instagram, Discord, YouTube channel if you're watching on audio platforms if you're watching on YouTube. I think that's it. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.